Today we are ranking the 10 best EX cards from Pokemon 151, starting with number 10, Venusaur EX. Venusaur EX is a Stage 2 Pokemon with a massive 340 hit points. Venusaur has the ability, Tranquil Flower, that reads, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may heal 60 damage from one of your Pokemon, and the attack, Dangerous Toxwhip, that does 150 damage for 2 grass and 1 colorless energy, and reads, your opponent's Pokemon is now confused and poisoned. Venusaur is not very good, but it's better than the other EX Pokemon that did not make this top 10. Number 9, we have Zapdos EX. Zapdos could easily be the most played card on this list inside of Miraidon EX decks. Zapdos has the ability, Bolt Float, that reads, if this Pokemon has any lightning energy attached, it has no retreat cost. Miraidon currently plays Zeraora and Flying Pikachu for free retreat pivots, and Zapdos could easily take that spot with its attack Multi-Shot Lightning that does 120 damage and also does 90 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon that has any damage counters on it, helping you take out low HP setup Pokemon such as Frigibax, Pidgey, Charmander, and Comfey. Coming in at number 8, we have Kangaskhan EX. Kangaskhan is a basic Pokemon with a good 230 hit points and 2 attacks. The first attack, Triple Draw, allows you to draw 3 cards while dealing no damage. The attack that makes Kangaskhan EX interesting is Incessant Punching. That does 100 damage for each heads flipped. You flip 4 coins. This attack does 100 damage for each heads you flip. With a max damage of 400, it could be a fun tech card in Lugia V-Star decks to be powered up with Archeops and Primal Turbo. Number 7, Wigglytuff EX. Wigglytuff is going to be a tank with its ability Expanding Body that reads, if this Pokemon has any special energy, it gets plus 100 hit points. With the new tool card, Rigid Band, that reduces damage by 30 for Stage 1 Pokemon, you have a massive 380 damage that has to be dealt for a one-hit knockout. Setup for Wigglytuff EX will be helped with the Paldea Evolved Wigglytuff and its ability Balloon Therapy that reads, once during your turn, you may attach a therapeutic energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Since you're already playing Jigglypuff in this list for Wigglytuff EX, playing an energy accelerant Wigglytuff only makes sense. Play a Charon's Care right before being knocked out and watch your opponents concede the game with Wigglytuff EX. Coming in at number 6, we have Jynx EX. Jynx is a basic EX with a low 200 hit points and 2 attacks. The first attack, Heart-Stopping Kiss, reads, if your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, it is knocked out. And the second attack, Icy Wind, that does 120 damage, and reads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Pair this with Hypno from 151 and its ability here for Hypnosis. That reads, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon asleep. Jynx EX paired up with Hypno and potentially more cards in the future that could cause your opponent's Pokemon to go to sleep could be a very devastating combo. Coming in at number 5, we have Charizard EX. Charizard EX has 330 hit points and 2 attacks. The first attack costs 1 fire energy and does 60 damage and reads, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 100 more damage. Charizard EX's second attack is Explosive Vortex, and the reason why this card is so high on this list. Explosive Vortex does 330 damage and reads, discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack one-hit KOs everything in the format except 340 HP Pokemon like Venusaur and Tyranitar and Blastoise EX, and if you have Wigglytuff EX set up properly, it can also survive this Charizard EX attack. The 4 energy cost is high, but with Magma Basin, Manual Attachments, and Infernal Rain, you can power it up in 1 turn. This Charizard will be a tech inclusion in the Obsidian Flames Charizard EX deck to take big knockouts in the early game and to counter the Charizard EX's grass type weakness. Number 4, Arbok EX. Hand Disruption is back in a big way with Pokemon 151. Arbok EX is a Stage 1 Pokemon with 270 hit points and has 2 attacks, Bind Down for 2 Darkness Energy, does 70 damage, and reads, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. The second attack is Menacing Fangs, that does 150 damage for 3 Dark Energy, and reads, your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand, paired with Snatch Arm to remove a Pokemon from your opponent's hand, and Giovanni's Charisma to remove energy from the active Pokemon, you have a very potent hand control deck that could easily find itself on the banned list in the near future. Number 3 is Blastoise EX. Blastoise EX has a massive 330 hit points and the ability Solid Shell that reads, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. Requiring 360 damage for a knockout puts Blastoise EX out of range of being one-hit KO'd by most Pokemon, and is even difficult to knock out in 2 hits. Blastoise EX has a low-cost attack with Twin Cannons. For 2 water energy, Twin Cannons does 140 damage times the number of water energy you discard, with a maximum damage of 280. This one-hit KOs V, V-Star, and Basic, and also Stage 1 EX Pokemon. Coming in at number 2, we have Alakazam EX. Alakazam is a Stage 2 Pokemon with a pretty low 310 hit points and a very unique attack in Dimensional Hand that does 120 damage and reads, this attack can be used even if your Pokemon is on the bench. This allows you to place single prize disruption Pokemon in your active spot, such as Klefki with its ability Mischievous Lock, that reads, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents, have no abilities. You can also play Mimikyu with its ability Safeguard that prevents all damage from Pokemon V and Pokemon EX. Having these single price Pokemon in play and still being able to attack from your bench will create a very powerful walking combination and one of the most exciting decks from the entire 151 set. The number 1 EX from Pokemon 151 is going to be Mew EX. Mew EX has a really good ability and a great attack with a massive amount of versatility. Mew EX has the ability Restart that reads, once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. Draw power is probably the most powerful ability to have in the entire game. The power of Mew EX really lies with its attack, Genome Hack. For 3 colorless energy, reads, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. This allows you to use powerful attacks such as Moonlight Shuriken to target low HP Stage 1 Pokemon, Lost Impact to knock out opposing V-Star Pokemon. You could also use Charizard EX, the new or the old Charizard EX's attack, to do massive amounts of damage, easily one-hit KOing 2 and 3 prize Pokemon. The choice for genome hacking can be made by playing boss's orders to bring up the correct Pokemon with the move that you want to copy. Mew EX will synergize well with Gardevoir EX and Lugia V-Star decks to be easily powered up with Psychic Embrace and Primal Turbo, and can even be an option in Chien Pao decks with Baxcalibur's ability. Mew EX has unlimited possibilities, with its attack being able to use any energy type, and is by far the most exciting card to come out of Pokemon 151. What are your thoughts on Pokemon 151? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next one.